welcome to the Church of Batman. I want to go over an article by Julie Rovner and NPR.org about the plan by Republicans to defund Planned Parenthood. Basically, the article, we're going to go into it, talks about how, repealing Affordable Care Act or Obamacare, which is the same thing, is their number one goal. Defunding Planned Parenthood is the number two goal. And we're going to go into the details of why, it's bad. And first of all, this notion that all Planned Parenthood does is abortions is not even correct. They do a million other things. House Speaker Paul Ryan, that guy with the dead-eyed serial killer stare, the Republican from Wisconsin, told reporters January 5th that efforts to defund the organization would be in our reconciliation bill, referring to a measure Congress has put on a fast track in order to repeal major pieces of the health law. It's going to be pretty complicated to do this. Here's why. One of the things is Planned Parenthood gets its federal funding from several different sources because Planned Parenthood does a bunch of things like Medicare, Medicaid, cancer screenings, contraception, a bunch of things. So according to the Planned Parenthood's most recent annual report, Planned Parenthood affiliates get $553.7 million from federal, state, and local governments, accounting for almost half of its total funding. According to the organization, about 75% of that government support comes from the Medicaid program to pay for direct medical services provided to low-income patients, including contraception, cancer screenings, and sexually transmitted disease testing and treatment. It's not just abortions, you right-wing freaks. You don't want to help low-income patients? You don't want cancer screenings? Anybody ever battled cancer, known someone that has battled cancer, has a family member that has maybe lost a battle to cancer? Well, Medicaid helps low-income people with that. But we don't want to help low-income people because that would be the Christian thing to do. The remaining quarter of its funding comes from other sources, primarily the Title X Federal Family Planning Program. The Congressional Budget Office estimated last year that the group gets approximately $390 million annually from Medicaid and $60 million from Title X. None of the funds from either program may be used for abortion under long-standing federal prohibitions. So the federal, I don't even understand what they're trying to defund. None of that money can go towards abortions. Private donations pay for abortions. So they just want to shut it down just because they commit, and they're not getting any federal money for abortions. That's a law. This isn't liberal conspiracy. That's the law. So the defunding of it doesn't make any sense. Only half of Planned Parenthood affiliates even offer abortion services, the group says, but it is still the largest single provider of the procedure in the nation, and that made it the target for anti-abortion lawmakers since the 80s. In recent years, one of the most ardent foes of the organization has been Vice President-elect Mikey Pence, our boy Mike. When he was a member of the House of Representatives, he led unsuccessful efforts to defund the program. As governor of Indiana, he was able to accomplish some of his goals. He vowed to stop federal spending for Planned Parenthood during the campaign last fall. Federal lawmakers have tried to stop this, and they keep getting shut down. One of the big reasons is taking away Planned Parenthood's access to Medicaid funding would require a change in the federal law that guarantees most Medicaid patients with the choice to use any qualified provider. The Department of Health and Human Services has repeatedly warned states that have tried to evict Planned Parenthood from their Medicaid programs that they cannot legally do that because such a move would violate the law. Also, here's the thing, if you know are you getting Medicaid, or here's the thing, if you're watching this on YouTube, my guess is you're probably somewhat younger. You're probably 40s or younger. And the older white people in their 60s and up that are all against Planned Parenthood, let them know this. If you have any friends or family members that are like Trump or they're anti-abortion and Planned Parenthood, we got to stop them, give them these facts. Give them these facts that no federal money goes for abortions. Give them these facts that it's helping low-income people with health care. Give them the facts that it would take away health care from senior citizens. Low-income senior citizens would lose health care if you do this, if you defund this. And also, here's something to take some solace in. Federal courts have consistently blocked states that have tried to end Planned Parenthood Medicaid funding. Changing that section of Medicaid would likely require 60 votes in the Senate to break a filibuster by Democrats. Republicans currently have 52 votes. However, the budget reconciliation bill that is expected to be used to repeal portions of the health law operates under special rules. It cannot be filibustered and needs only 51 votes to pass. So the two problems this represents for Republicans, according to the 2015 Congressional Budget Office analysis, permanently changing the Medicare law to Planned Parenthood to make Planned Parenthood ineligible would cost more, not less. What? Wait a minute. I thought we were cutting filthy spending to help people. Approximately $130 million over 10 years. That is because, said the Congressional Budget Office, taking away contraceptive access for some women would result in more pregnancies, and additional births that would result from enacting such a bill would add to federal spending for Medicaid. Well, that just sounds like liberal crybaby theory. Oh, no, wait. In 2013, Texas kicked Planned Parenthood out of its family planning program and gave up its federal funding. Yeah, we stuck it to those baby-killing liberals. The result was fewer women used birth control and more babies being born. This is according to last March in the New England Journal of Medicine. So once again, if you help people, if you take away that help, it makes it worse. Like what are low-income people supposed to do? You know, it's proven time again. The higher education a country or a region or a town has, the fewer pregnancies, right? So let's take away education too. Let's not educate people. There are also some Republicans that have half a brain. Obviously, I'm not happy that the Speaker has decided to include the defunding of Planned Parenthood, an extremely controversial issue, in the budget reconciliation package. Now, this was Senator Susan Collins, a Republican from Maine, told reporters last Thursday. A spokeswoman for Senator Lisa Murkowski, a Republican from Alaska, said she is concerned about defunding Planned Parenthood, as she is a longtime supporter of Planned Parenthood and is opposed broadly defunding the organization. Collins and Murkowski fought against the inclusion of a one-year defunding of the organization in a 2015 health law repeal bill that Obama vetoed last January. So there's a list of Senate Republicans who recently have questioned the idea of defunding Planned Parenthood. So the health centers serve about 25 million total patients, and they would have to absorb an additional 2 million people, which is completely impossible if they defund Planned Parenthood. So it would make it even harder. And let's go into this. Planned Parenthood and community health centers may not overlap. Planned Parenthood says that in a fifth of the counties it serves, it is the only provider for low-income women. Asking community health centers to move into new areas, says Rosenbaum, displays a fundamental misunderstanding of how long it takes a new provider to move into a potentially new community. Do you think, any men watching this, if a bunch of women, because it's all guys talking about this shit, all guys that want to defund this, Paul Ryan, Mike Pence, Donnie Trump, if a bunch of women were saying, hey guys, we're going to defund, you're not allowed to have vasectomies. You're not allowed to do anything like this, and we're going to defund you. Any low-income guys, you're not allowed to get any treatment for this. Would men sit and let this happen? Would we just let a group of women tell us what we could or could not do with our bodies because these women read the Bible and that was their interpretation of it? There's no goddamn way. This is just so preposterous to me. And again, it's not even just about abortions. It's providing health care for people. Medicaid and Medicare helps low-income people. It helps senior citizens. It helps a lot of people. And this country, the wealthiest country in the history of the goddamn planet, should be helping all of its citizens. We have enough money. Instead of flying around in a fucking private helicopter, you could help people. And the Democratic Party, instead of just talking about it, actually do something about it. The Clinton Foundation, So, first of all, those senators that I listed, if you live in, this makes me so mad, if you're in Senator Susan Collins' district in Maine, whether you voted for her or not, tell her that you support her blocking Ryan and Pence from defunding Planned Parenthood. Same thing if you are living in Alaska and Lisa Murkowski is your senator. Let her know. Let reasonable Republicans know, or any Republican or any Democrat know, this is what I stand for, and if you want my vote, you need to act accordingly. Hold these people accountable. I know I say it a lot. Find out who your representatives are. Go to senate.gov or house.gov. This makes me so mad. Like, this country we should have health care for everybody. I talked to friends of mine in Australia, and they're just like, they find this preposterous. Or my friends in Canada, they think this is ridiculous that this country doesn't have health care. And you're denying health care for poor people, primarily poor women. It's complete bullshit, and let your representatives know. And go to PlannedParenthood.org and donate money to them so these assholes can't cut it. Graham Elwood, Church of Batman. Like it. Press the big thumbs up. Subscribe and share. And don't be a dick like Mike Pence or Dead-Eyed Ryan. Those guys are dicks.